How are you, my dear students in organic chemistry? Now we will discuss about lesson 5, naming alkynes. At the end of the session, students will be able to determine the structure of alkynes and give the name of alkynes. What is an alkynes? Alkynes contain at least one carbon-to-carbon triple bond. They have the general formula of CnH2n-2, where n is equal to 2, 3, and so on. So naming alkyne. Names of compounds containing carbon-to-carbon triple bonds end with -ine or YNE. Again, the name of the parent compound is determined by the number of carbon atoms in the longest chain. As in the case of alkenes, the names of alkynes indicate the position of the carbon-to-carbon triple bond. So example, you can see here we have the parent chain, or the longest chain of carbon is butane, because we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 carbons, 4 continuous chain of carbon. But notice that between the carbon 1 and carbon 2, we can find a triple bond. So because of the triple bond, because of the presence of triple bond, this compound is an alkyne. An alkyne is a type of compound, organic compound, or hydrocarbon having at least one triple bond between carbon atoms. And notice also that the triple bond can be located between carbon 1 and carbon 2. So therefore, the number to indicate the location of the triple bond, we will use the lowest number, and that is 1. So the name is 1-butane or 1-butyne. So for the next example, since the location of the triple bond is between carbon 2 and 3, then we will use the lowest number, and that's the carbon 2. The triple bond is found in carbon 2 and carbon 3. So the carbon 2 has the lowest number indicated by the triple bond, and the parent chain is butane. So because of the triple bond, it becomes an alkyne. So this is 2-butyne. Another example is, you can see in this example we have 4 continuous chain of carbon. This is actually a butane, but because of the presence of the triple bond, it becomes a butyne. The triple bond is located between carbon 1 and carbon 2. And between 1 and 2, the number or the lowest number is the carbon 1. So the lowest number, the carbon atom in the chain that's part of carbon triple bond to carbon, is the carbon 1. Therefore, the name of this alkyne is 1-butyne. Another example. The parent chain, or the longest continuous chain of carbon, is also 4 in this example. So because of the presence of the triple bond, this becomes butyne. The triple bond is located between the carbon 2 and 3. And of course, 2 is the lowest number. Therefore, the name of this alkyne is 2-butyne. In this example, in the next example, you can see that there are 6 continuous carbon chain. This is an alkyne because of the presence of the triple bond. And we can find the triple bond between the carbon 3 and carbon 4. Finding the lowest number of carbon where we can find the triple bond, then we have 3, and the name is 3-hexyne. In the next example, we have a 5 continuous carbon chain. Of course, we know that 5, that's pentane or penta. But because of the presence of the triple bond between carbon and carbon, this becomes an alkyne. And what's the lowest number of the carbon where we can find the triple bond? Obviously, that's the carbon 2 and 3. But the lowest is 2. That's why the name of this is 2-pentyne. In the next slide, we can see the review. We will be having a review of the alkyl group. We know that this alkyl group is an alkane less than 1 hydrogen atom. That becomes an alkyl group. For example, when we remove 1 hydrogen from the simplest alkane, which is the methane, it becomes the CH4 becomes CH3 because we remove 1 hydrogen. The name of this will become a methyl. Similarly, when we remove 1 hydrogen from ethane, that is C2H6, it becomes C2H5 and the name becomes ethyl. That is the alkyl group. We have the list of common alkyl groups here. So we have starting from methyl, ethyl, the propyl, butyl, and the isopropyl and the butyl. We have also the substituent group, right? So this is an atom or group of atoms which replaces 1 or more hydrogen atoms on the parent chain of the hydrocarbon. So they are called functional group or substituent group. And here are the list of the substituent group. We have the NH2, that is amino, F for the fluoro, Cl, that's chloro, Br, bromo, I, iodo, NO2, that's nitro, and CH double bond to CH2, that is vinyl. Okay, so we will give the name to our alkyne having either an alkyl group or a substituent group. In this example, notice that the presence of alkyl group attached to the carbon 4. We have the alkyl group methyl attached to the carbon 4. Okay? So, the parent chain or the longest continuous chain of carbon is 6. Okay? And that is hexane if we are considering that as an alkane. But since we have the triple bond exist between carbon 2 and carbon 3, then it becomes an alkyne. So therefore, the name of this alkyne is, we will mention first the alkyl group and the location. So 4-methyl, because the methyl or the alkyl group methyl is attached to the carbon 4. That's 4-methyl, okay, 2-hexyne. Okay, so because the tribal bond is located in or between carbon 2 and carbon 3, and we will use the lowest number, which is the carbon 2. So the final name of this is 4-methyl 2-hexyne. Another example, here you can see that the alkyl group attached to our parent chain is the ethyl. The ethyl or the C2H5. Okay? Now, the parent chain is consist of how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. If we are considering that as an alkane, then that's heptane. But because of the presence of the triple bond between carbon 3 and carbon 4, it becomes an alkyne. Therefore, the name of this alkyne is 5-ethyl 3-heptane. Why 5? Because that is the location of the alkyl group. And the alkyl group ethyl is attached to the carbon 5. And 3 is the lowest number of carbon where we can find the triple bond. And heptane is the name of the parent chain. In the next example, you can see an alkyl groups, the same kind of an alkyl group, ethyl, which are attached to the carbon 2 and carbon 5. Okay? So the parent chain consists of how many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7. That's hept. That is, due to the presence of the triple bond, it becomes heptine. The parent chain is heptine. Now, naming this, we will find the location of the carbon where the alkyl groups are attached. We have 2 alkyl groups attached to the carbon 2 and carbon 5, that is 2, 5. Then we will use the prefix di, indicating or noting or to note that we have 2 ethyl group attached. That's why we use the prefix di. So diethyl, and the location of the triple bond. The lowest number of carbon where we can find the triple bond is 3. Carbon 3. That's why the final name is 2,5-diethyl 3-heptine. Next example, we can see that we have 2 alkyl groups attached to the carbon 2 and carbon 5. So because we have 2 methyl, we will use the prefix di. So the name is 2,5. That's the location or the number of carbon or the location where the alkyl group methyl are attached. 2,5-di because we have 2 methyl group, dimethyl, 3 indicating the lowest number of carbon where we can find the triple bond, heptine because we have 7 carbon atoms in the parent chain. The next example, we have 2 alkyl groups attached to the carbon 1 and carbon 5, and the parent chain is still heptine because we have 7 carbon, and Therefore, the name of the alkyne is 1,5-diethyl 3-heptine. In the next example, we will use the substituent group bromo. That's the Br attached to the carbon 1 and carbon 5. So the name is 1,5 because the substituent group bromo are attached to carbon 1 and carbon 5, and we will use the prefix di because they are two, or there are two bromo. So dibromo and 3-heptine. So that's how we give names to our alkyne. Just remember that alkyne has at least one triple bond that exists between each carbon to carbon atoms in the parent chain. I hope that you can easily name the alkyne if you encounter that in our final exam. And continue to watch our videos, our video lessons. We already have 5 video lessons in preparation for your final exam. I hope that you can answer and you can get high scores in our exam. Thank you very much for your time watching our lessons, and hopefully see you on the next lesson. We still have one video lesson left, and continue to learn concepts of the organic chemistry. Thank you very much again, and good day.